you see the series, the Aggies with a 45-43 lead. That game, though, has another story, Jimmy, because Jason Sasser had got out of the hospital the day before the ball game, and they had a couple of players a little bit under the weather. James Dickey said, don't take anything away from Texas A&M. They played superb that night, but we can play better, and we will have to tonight.
Well, especially on the defensive end is where James Dickey feels like his squad did not compete. And those next 2 afternoons in practice sessions, defense was the emphasis of the day.
And it comes off to Texas Tech. Sasser out to Jason Martin. Martin. Davis, alley-oop, and a foul called underneath, intended for Darvin Ham. He was looking for an early ham dunk, as they call him here in Lubbock.
The guy is really a jumping jack. He wins the offensive tip just about every time out. A little special scoring play designed to go at Joe Wilbert. Watch Ham get the back screen set by Lance Hughes. Then he just throws it up for grabs, and this time Wilbert gets caught with a foul.
Yeah, Ham's won the tip every time but twice this year. Lance Hughes, he is a streaky player. Jimmy talked about him a moment ago, and Hughes hits the first bucket of the game. He averages 17 a game on the tray. It's 3-0. Martin with the pressure defense out front against Kyle Kessel. Kessel, a freshman, all the way to the hole, kept the composure and got the bucket. He had a big game in the first victory, 14 points, 2 boards, and 10 assists. The other way, bucket, foul, basket will count, I believe, by Davis.
Well, you see right there the Texas Tech plan of attack tonight. Very aggressive offensively. If A&M can establish their half-court defense, they're in good shape. But you watch right here, Davis takes it strong to the hole, and all Kessler can do is hit him on top of the head to try to stop it. And that is one of the 2 keys for A&M tonight, establishing that half-court defense.
And to the free throw line is Davis. James Dickey has really got some talent here. That's why this ball club was picked to win it in the preseason. They played an outstanding, maybe too tough of non-conference schedule, going to Wisconsin and playing at Kentucky and Temple and folks like that. But he's realized that for his team to get in the NCAAs, they've got to toughen things up in the non-league portion of their slate. Last year, Texas Tech going 17-11 did not get a bid. Davis, 58%er, hits 1 of 2, and it's a 6-2 ball game. Well, the basket didn't count, I beg your pardon, 4-2 game.
You'll watch A&M tonight. Very patient on the offensive end. They will push it in transition, but then they will be patient on that offensive end and make Texas Tech try to guard them 25, 30 seconds. Watch the hustle play here by Ham going for the loose ball. Just runs right over James in the corner. But that is the type of early aggressiveness you like from a coach's standpoint. You see your players active, you'll take a foul like that early.
Ham picking up his first foul. Kessel out front, 4-2. Raiders on top here. Aggies with the basketball. On the drive, will not go for Ali, and it comes off quickly. The Raiders love to run. Averaging over 100 a game here, 70, 86 for the season. Underneath, the follow won't go for Ham, and the rebound comes off quickly to A&M. Long pass and out of bounds. They turn it over. Wasim Ali, I don't know if he was the intended receiver. I think they were looking for Wilbert.
Well, A&M's got to be a little bit more selective in their running game from defensive to the offensive end. Tony Brony cannot have turnovers like this tonight. You see the pass just a little high, and it forces Ali just to try to save it and falls out of bounds. But they can't have those type of turnovers. When they run in transition, they've got to convert or pull it out and put it in a half-court game.
Texas Tech going for the tray and got it from downtown. Martin Davis, and he has been hitting just 17% from three-point range. A big boost. In fact, Davis, Sasser, inside, outside have really struggled this year. As there's a threesome on this team that's gone 9 for 67 from three-point range. The rest of the club has been 35%. Big boost if they hit outside. Wilbert won't go. Johnson to follow. Tip, nope, and it comes off to the Raiders. James comes off with a miss. Both teams a little harem-scarum to start with. 17:45 to go. First half, 7-2 Tech. Henderson checks in. He's coming off a career-high 19 against Baylor. Takes over for Quentin James. Inbounds to Henderson.
I think Henderson is really a key for A&M throughout the remainder of this Southwest Conference race. He's the one guy that's got a pure perimeter stroke, and that is what has been the Aggies' downfall this year, is lack of consistent perimeter scoring. They need Henderson to stay on fire.
Inside Wilbert. 11 on the shot clock. Wilbert over Ham. McGinnis. And here come the Red Raiders. Martin with the basketball after the rebound by Sasser. Alley-oop. Oh, Obama. And if this Coliseum crowd needed a wake-up call, they just got it. Kessel. Wilbert, beautifully executed. Johnson not given credit for what kind of passer he can be.
Yeah, great hands inside, Damon Johnson, and then has the nice soft pass inside to his buddy. But you've already seen right now at Texas Tech how versatile they are offensively in that transition game. All five guys can run and handle.
Sasser's miss, Johnson's rebound. Johnson's been a terror on the boards the last two games, 34 rebounds. The other way, again, a little give and go, and Johnson gets the bucket at the other end. It's 9-6. Baroni's club down by 3. 16:21 to go in the half. Hughes hit 1-3, fake, and goes to the hole for the easy one.
Well, still, that's his game. I've talked about his perimeter stroke, but he is one of the best players in the conference at the pump fake, getting you off your feet and taking it to the hole just like he did. You've got to stay down in proper defensive stance against Lance Hughes.
And if you haven't seen the senior from Georgetown, Texas, he can explode. A big-time leaper. Davis with a steal and runs it down. Martin, 11-6 Raiders. Hughes feeds low to Sasser. Against Johnson. Johnson comes off with it. Don't think you can give Sasser that kind of position, though, can you?
No, he was right there on that block where I talked about in the open, and you can't allow him to catch it there and play behind. He'll score more times than he'll miss.
Ham with another steal. The other way. The nice save underneath, but then taken away as Davis couldn't come up with it. And credit Henderson for getting back quickly. Kessel wanting timeout and got it. A little bit disgusted because one of the officials was looking at James Dickey, who was upset on a previous dot call. And Kessel, trying to get the timeout, had trouble getting their attention.
Yeah, and I also think the official half court felt like that was a play he was signaling, tapping on the shoulder. Very difficult for the ball in the hands of the point guard for him to also signal for a 20-second timeout. You need another player to run up and signal it.
Timeout with 15:03 to go here in the first half. 11-6 our score. Texas Tech on top.
Keep an eye tonight. Talk about Texas Tech and how aggressive they are in transition offense, but Texas A&M in transition defense, they must sprint back and find people, but also run and get vision of the basketball. They cannot allow that ball to go sailing over their heads and not know where it is. It's a very difficult assignment. Tony Brony has worked on it the past few days coming into tonight. But you got to find your man and find the ball and run full speed all at the same time.
Early shooting numbers here with 15:03 to go in the half. A&M at 3 of 8, Tech at 4 of 9 for the year. Tech shoots 47%, second in the league. But they're just under 47 at 4th in the league, and A&M at 47.4. They are second in the league. Kessel with it out front. Wilbert. Joe Wilbert gets the bucket, averaging 22 a game, almost 26 in league action. He's got 4, and it's now 11-8.
Wilbert scored before he ever caught the basketball. It was the position he established prior to the pass that got him the 2 points.
Lloyd in the ball game for Tech. Raiders lead it by 3. Davis with a spin and a foul call. Mark Davis. After the foul by Tony McGinnis, the Iron Man of this club, averaging 36 minutes a game, has played the entire game 5 of the last 6 games, and has gone the distance 9 times this year. He played a full 55 minutes in their triple overtime game. That's amazing. Some are saying the wear and tear is starting to take its toll a little bit on his offensive performance. He's an outstanding defender and a great offensive board man. Here's Davis at the line. He'll get this one to fall. And we'll take a timeout. Our score is 12-8. Texas Tech leading it by 4 of the visitors from A&M.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a really natural look. So I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look, called Just for Men.
Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away the gray. Bring back the look of your own natural color as it conditions your hair.
With 5-minute Just for Men, this natural look is a sure thing.
5-minute Just for Men. The sure thing for a natural look.
How much do you pay for a minute of long distance?
45 cents.
Oh, get out.
About 60 cents.
About $1.50?
I have no idea. I'm sure it's a lot.
85.
Now Sprint introduces a whole new way to save on long distance. Every evening and all weekend long, a minute is just 10 cents. It's that simple.
That looks like a dime.
1 minute, 2 minutes, 3.
E pluribus unum.
Who says a dime doesn't buy you anything anymore?
Call now for 10 cents a minute and get up to 100 minutes free.
Welcome to the Sports Hotspot, the superstore for sports fans. Hey, Astro fans, Jeff Bagwell is the '94 National League MVP. Commemorate this historic event by wearing your officially licensed Jeff Bagwell MVP apparel. This starter MVP cap and tee can be yours. Have your credit cards ready and call 1-800-ASTROS-4. These commemorative pieces are great for any Astros fan or collector. Kid sizes and adult XXL are available. Call 1-800-ASTROS-4 and hit the spot.
If you suffer from painful itching and want immediate effective relief, here's important medical news. Gold Bond Medicated Anti-Itch Cream provides itch relief that starts to work on contact. And a recent clinical study showed at 10 minutes, Gold Bond Cream provided more effective itch relief, better than Cortisone 10, Cordate, and Lanacaine. And Gold Bond Cream contains 2 medically proven pain relievers not found in any leading brand. For effective, immediate itch relief, try Gold Bond Medicated Anti-Itch Cream.
Tune in to something new on the air. Prime Sports Radio, the sound of sports.
I think for pure offensive, this might be the greatest team in the history of college football.
They were out there because they love to compete, they love to perform, they love being on center stage.
This turned into a game, one that you knew Marino would kind of take over because he was having so much success throwing the football.
All sports, all day, from all across the USA. PSR, Prime Sports Radio, the sound of sports.
This is Cavallini beating ahead. There he has it. Walks in, shoots, scores!
The Dallas Stars, illuminating the NHL. Stellar performances, shooting for the cup.
Here's Guardado. One last rush up on.
The Stars take on the Maple Leafs Wednesday at 6:30, live on HSE.
Texas Tech with a 16-13 lead.
11:56 to go in the first half here in Lubbock. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Land along with Jimmy Dykes. I'm glad to have you here. Early thoughts on this one?
Look for Texas A&M, I think, to go to a matchup zone. They're having very difficult problems in one-on-one containment in their man-to-man defense. Look for Tony Baroni to try a zone and see what happens.
Well, these two guys, outstanding coaches, makes quite a chess match for it's all through, I got to feel.
Yeah, really will. There'll be a lot of changes made throughout this game. Already has been, and both teams playing well early, I think.
A&M brings it up. This is Chris Oney, 6'3" freshman. As Kessel gets a breather for Baroni. Hughes and near steal. Davis a block and out of bounds. It goes back to A&M. Telling McGinnis, wait a minute now. You don't come into the paint. Mark Davis, his 17th block shot of the year, gives him the team lead.
Texas Tech is really applying pressure, denying passes right now. A&M must do a better job of screening. They're screening air, and that right there, back cut, bring the offense high and get some back cuts.
Oney Maroney got it off to Wilbert, and he gets it into the basket. It's a one-point game after Tech was out to an early 7-point lead.
Well, here you see the zone defense out of the timeout. And they've got to know where Lance Hughes is. He's the one true perimeter threat. They've got to always have an awareness of number 4.
Davis, his first miss of the night. Wilbert, he walked. So the Aggies miss an opportunity to take over the lead. Maroney will substitute Kessel quickly into the basketball game. Oni comes out.
I credit the turnover to Oni, although Wilbert will go down in the books with it because he gave Joe Wilbert the basketball in position. Really, there was nothing for him to do. He was 15, 16 feet away, running towards the baseline. Very difficult for him to catch and create something in that spot.
That turnover is something to keep your eye on because A&M's been averaging almost 20 a game this year. Air ball underneath. Sasser cannot convert. Got this one, but lately they've cut it to under 15 a game over their last 6. They're off to a rough start in that category here tonight. And most importantly, Tech takes advantage of it and gets the bucket off the turnover. 18-15, Texas Tech, 10:30 to go first half.
You'll see A&M all night long. There's what I'm talking about. You got a back cut against that pressure. Texas Tech is really extending the defense and gambling, running through passes. You've got to screen, run that offense high, and get some drives. There you go.
Kessel gets the bucket. It looked like Coy Smith got a hand on it. Whatever, it goes in the hole, and Kessel will go to the line. And there's some of the confidence you're talking about, Jimmy. He's taking the ball to the basket.
Well, I saw him early in the year at Clemson, and he was not able to make this play at all. Now, there's a freshman point guard with the ability to penetrate and finish. Not a lot of point guards can do this right here. He takes it in with some contact, keeps his head up, and gets the ball to drop. Visited him before the ball game. I said, Kyle Son, I said, I just keep seeing you improve every night out. I've seen these Aggies now 4 or 5 times, several times on film. And just about the time you think Kyle Kessel maybe can't get it done for you, he makes plays like that right there.
And he's a 68% free throw shooter. He's got 8 of the Aggies, 18. So they're getting an unexpected boost from their point guard. And we're tied for the first time since the start of the ball game. Davis, nice feed. Sasser unties it. Just like that, Sasser has now got a half dozen. Stevens into the ball game. Stevens, big fellow, and a loose one, and Sasser nearly lost it to Martin. To Battie. And now to Coy Smith, back out to Martin. Inside looking for Sasser. Stevens was there. But Guinness tomahawked it away. And then Martin got a hand on it. And Wilbert gets fouled. Yes. James Dickey cannot believe it, and neither can Mark Davis.
Well, James Dickey and the rest of the Lubbockians here don't agree with the call, or Lubbockites, I'm not sure which it is. But Joe Wilbert, you talk about a guy that will run the floor hard every time. He just beats everybody down the floor and then has the strength to go up, and that's looks to me like all ball up top. And Mark Davis thinks the same thing.
And Wilbert may have gotten a break. Well, when you put up numbers like this guy, officials tend to give you one here and there. He's shooting 72% from the line, 8th best in the league. He's been in double figures every game. After his 38 points at Texas A&M, James Dickey, the Tech coach, said, give him player of the year right now. I've seen enough. That was the first game of the conference season.
Well, I've seen some great 6'6" basketball players this year on the collegiate level. Jarvis Lang at UNC Charlotte is one, for example. But this guy right here, he can get it done as well as anybody in the country for his size inside. Explosive is Joe Wilbert.
And Wilbert comes out.
Johnson comes in. And that gives Baroni a little more
firepower since Johnson has come around in the last 2 games to average 17.5 points, 17 boards, shooting 77 from the floor and 80 from the line. He can give Wilbert a little breather. Inside Davis, a great catch, and then a foul before the basket. That was a super grab.
He has great hands, strong hands, the ability to grab that ball out of traffic. But it's the inside defenders right now in that zone that are having breakdowns for Tony Baroni. You see the catch. by Davis in traffic. The guy is an outstanding athlete. The zone has done what it wanted to accomplish, shutting down those perimeter shots. The inside guys now got to step it up for Tony Barone.
Raiders turning it over. Raiders 3 fouls, Aggies 5. That last one was on Stevens. Inside, Kessel to Stevens, and the whirling dervish cannot get it to go. Martin across the timeline for the Raiders after the rebound by Sasser. Back out to Davis. Davis at 6'7". 74 assists on the year. You can really see inside for the passing lane. Martin steps up, won't go. Foul underneath. It'll be on Stevens, his second. 16 foul on the Aggies of Texas A&M. It's 2019 Raiders.
You know, there's 4 or 5 things that you constantly teach from a coaching standpoint in a zone offense, and one of them is offensive rebounding, and Texas Tech is doing a very good job of crashing that offensive glass. You got to have ball reversal, you got to penetrate the gaps, you got to throw the skip pass, and then when that shot's taken, you've got to crash the boards. And James Dickey has done an outstanding job of teaching that to his troops.
8:15 remaining in the half. Stripped on the way to the hole. Sasser had it taken away. Nicely done that time by Quentin James. Inside the other way. The left-hand shot by Wilbert will not fall. Hughes kicks to Martin. Here come the Raiders. Up by 1. Sipped out of bounds. Touched by Wilbert. It'll go back to Texas Tech underneath their hoop.
Joe Wilbert-Bill ran himself out of position in transition. See where he caught it? All the way down there along the baseline. He's got to have a little bit better awareness of where he is on the court and stop near that block area.
Davis has gone a little cool after getting off to a great start with 9 points. He had 9 of their first 14. Our game 2019, Tech by 1. They've not trailed. Their lead, the biggest, was 7. It's tied at 18 for the only time. Wilbert, just vintage Joe Wilbert. When he gets the ball and sees a seam, he's done.
And so is a Red Raider Gardner. That guy, I love watching him play. He comes with the same effort, the same enthusiasm every night out.
He's got 11, and he gives the Aggies the lead for the first time tonight. Very makeable shot by Batty will not go, and it goes out of bounds to Texas A&M. The Aggies have come back to take the lead with a timeout called. 7:09 remaining in the first half here in Lubbock. 21-20 A&M.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 known wonders of the world. Witness
the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
when
13,
Prime
14,
spotlights the NBA All-Star Weekend. Friday night at 7 Central on HSE.
If you think you play like this, but you really play like this, you need help. You need Leslie Nielsen, star of the new home video Bad Golf Made Easier.
Billy, the reason the game is called golf is because all the other 4-letter words have been taken.
Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier teaches you the fundamentals.
Always remember, the only really useful tip in golf is the one you give to the starter.
Secrets the pros won't tell.
Never use the comb in the blue fluid.
And how to play the problem lie. It's the smash hit home video. Call now to order. Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier.
What is our credo?
We don't play golf to feel bad.
We play bad golf, but feel good.
Call now to order Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier, only $19.98. This video makes the perfect gift. Rush delivery available. Call 1-800-423-2121.
SWC stands for Southwest Conference. And to catch all the exciting news from Lubbock to Houston, Austin to Dallas, and all points in between, this week in the SWC is the place. Wednesday at 5:30 on HSE.
Good crowd on hand in Lubbock. The Raiders on the short side for the first time tonight. 21-20 Texas A&M.
Travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. One pass lets you earn free travel faster than any other airline. That's the difference on Continental.
You see Texas A&M very active in that 2-3 zone. Now Lance Hughes is the guy, number 4, that they got to be aware of. They can live with that right there. Big guys taking 12-foot baseline jump shots, and you see Tony Brony giving 5 to Damon Johnson for the great job of boxing off. And look for A&M to stick with that 2-3 zone.
Wilbert has got Ham on him now. Interesting matchup in there. Texas Tech used 4 different bodies on Kurt Thomas the other day, the TCU scoring star. He got his 28, but he didn't get to the free throw line. He really had to earn them. They felt they did a nice job on it. Johnson to the basket with a bucket. And Johnson's got 4, Wilbert 11. Kessel 8 for A&M. It's been Davis 9, Sasser 6. The big guns, and Hughes with 5 for Texas Tech. 6:24 to go in the half. Hughes got the 3.
See, you can't stand there and watch him shoot. There's a little bit of miscommunication between the 2 guards. Somebody's got to get up and challenge that shot and stick a hand in his face.
Hughes gets his second 3 of the evening. Lance averages over 15 a game. He had 20 in the TCU victory on Saturday. Tied for the second time at 23. 6 minutes to go in the half. Kessler. Again, taking Martin to the basket. Foul is called, though. It's on Kessel, I believe. Yes, the charge on Kessel. Jason Martin helps draw it. His second foul, and team foul number 7. They'll shoot the rest of the way, 1-1. And Henderson back in for A&M. Also returning to the ball game, Chris Oney. Kessel will take a seat. Kessel signed a professional baseball contract with the Mets. He's not on scholarship, and probably wondering what his future would be with the way Major League Baseball is in such a mess right now. Martin. Hughes. 16 on the shot clock for the Raiders. Down, the tied at 23. Davis, it seems like they're down, the way they've struggled against this defense of A&M. 6 on the shot clock. Martin. Ham tried to tap it out, but it goes to Oney of the Aggies. He's got Wilbert. He saw him, and Wilbert couldn't handle it. A tough pass again to throw in transition. I'm not making an excuse for Wilbert. That's a hard ball to handle, though.
Well, it is, and Oney does a great job of threading the needle right here through the defenders. And it bounces up here. That's a great pass. Wilbert just, I think, tried to score before he caught it. You got to catch the ball first and go up, because it was right there delivered in his breadbasket.
Yeah, and maybe I didn't see the first time. I don't know who that was that came running through there almost skipping. It was like a distraction, kind of like an infielder trying to catch the ball with a runner going in front of him. Hughes on the alley-oop. Last touch inside by the Aggies. I want to remind you, more Southwest Conference basketball on Prime coming up in 2 weeks from tonight. TCU SMU, the battle of the Metroplex in Dallas-Fort Worth. Lewis. Rebound comes off to Damon Johnson. Tony tied at 23. Now remember, this Tech team's averaging 86 a game. 103 at home. And they're only at 23 with 4:40 to go in the half. A&M averages 73 a game.
Well, A&M's done 2 things. They've done a nice job pretty much handling this ball in a half-court situation, getting that shot clock down to 10 or 11, like that possession right there. And now their half-court defense is allowed to be established, and they're doing a solid job on that end as well.
Damon Johnson's got a half dozen. Aggies lead by a deuce. 4:19 remaining. Davis from the corner. And Davis jumps on a 3. And just like that, Tech comes back with a 1-point lead, 26-25. Davis with a dozen.
Mark Davis is capable. He's only shooting 16% from the 3-point stripe, so it's a little bit of a gamble right now for Tony Brony, but I think he'll take Mark Davis shooting threes against that zone.
Out of bounds, and it'll go back the other way. Timeout called as Texas Tech has regained the lead. 26-25, Red Raiders over A&M here in Southwest Conference basketball on Prime.
We didn't want our small car to ride like a small car, so we made the body wider, longer, and stiffer than before. And finally, we gave it bigger, beefier tires, too. The all-new Geo Metro. Doesn't cost a lot, and it has one heck of a nice ride. If you lock your keys inside, we'll help you get new ones. If you run out of gas, we'll help you get more. And if you get lost, we'll get you found. The all-new Geo Metro, with around-the-clock roadside assistance. Want to know more? Just call.
I work on cars for a living, so I know top-notch parts when I see them. And so does my Pronto Pro. Top-notch parts and service, one low Pronto price. Thanks, Don. Like I say, when you gotta get it right, get it pronto.
Nutrageous from Reese's. Peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. Nutrageous. Give your mouth a party.
If I was the go-to guy, I'd line up like the Vegas Strip on payday. Cha-ching, cha-ching. My name would be everything. Cha-ching. I'd have my own bank. Cha-ching. They put my face on the dollar bill. Cha-ching. I'd have a lifetime contract. Cha-ching.
Spread the wealth with Jimmy, Jamal, and Jason. Triple J's in the Dallas Ball.
Yeah, if I was the go-to guy, they'd call me Money. Everyone else would be fair change.
Trailblazers, Mavs, Tuesday night, 7:30, live on HSE.
Tech by one with 3:55 to go in Southwest Conference first half action here in Lubbock. Tomorrow the action's in the Metro as Virginia Commonwealth heads south to the Bayou to take on the Tulane Green Wave. Don Russell and Rolly Massimino will be there to bring you all the action. Prime basketball, VCU and Tulane on this regional sports network tomorrow night.
You watch Mark Davis sneak to the corner, and Lance Hughes attracts so much attention they let him shoot. But again, statistics tell you the guy's a 16% three-point shooter on the year, so it's a little bit of a gamble right now for the Aggies.
Well, he's hit 5 all year, and he's got 2 tonight. Now that guy can do it.
Don't gamble off that guy.
Lance Hughes gets his 3rd 3 of the night. He's shooting 34% from three-point territory. He's got 11, and the lead is now at 4, 29-25. Oney slips to, you got it, Wilbert, and he's got it. 2-point game. Joe Wilbert with 13. He's just, you hit the nail on the head, Jimmy. You talked about confidence. When he gets it, he knows what he's going to do with it. He knows it's going in. Hughes. Oh, mama! What a play by Lance Hughes.
Lance Hughes leaves the perimeter and sneaks inside. Interior defenders don't pick him up, and he hits the acrobatic shot.
McGinnis. This one warming up nicely. 2:57 to go before intermission. 31-27. Texas Tech trying to take over sole possession of first in the league. Save, it goes out of bounds back to A&M.
Chris Oney penetrated, and Tony Brony telling him, you get that close to the basket, son, you got to jump up and shoot it. Tried to force a pass. See Lance Hughes just cut right down the middle of the defense. Great job of offensive execution by the Red Raiders. And Lance Hughes with the athletic ability to get it to roll down.
Hughes, 19 points and 5 boards in the first meeting between these two that A&M won. Tony Baroni's club won 4 of 5. Their only loss in that 5, a one-pointer at TCU that the referees have even admitted they made a mistake. And Tony's saying, we're just going to go ahead and count that as a win. Billy Tubbs today in a conference call at TCU, so if that's the case, we're just calling ourselves 7-0. Sasser. And a foul is called. We're talking about a good matchup, Jimmy. You got a good one here tonight with Texas Tech and A&M, and then the other two tri-leaders, Texas and TCU, they hook up tomorrow night. Tomorrow night they'll meet in Austin. That ought to be a great game. We had the first one on Prime back at TCU in front of a sellout crowd.
If I could get a ticket, I'd go. I think that's really going to be a classic battle in Austin tomorrow night. Much like this one here. Expect nothing else but this to continue throughout the remainder of this ball game, because A&M really feels like if they can come in here and steal one on the road, they then establish themselves as a team to beat in the Southwest Conference. And James Dickey knows that he cannot afford to lose at home. That's the trend set right now in the league. So you got to maintain your serve when the ball's on your court.
Yeah, you take a look. Texas, TCU, Tech, and A&M are all unbeaten at home. Only Rice has lost a home game in the conference. They're 1-2. They're 3-1 on the road. So go figure them. 33-27 the count here, as after trailing by 1, Tech's come back and take a little bit more control. They lead by a half dozen now.
The attack right now for the Aggies is inside oriented. Wilbert and Johnson taking turns playing a little funny game inside.
McGinnis, definitely a miss by Wilbert. Here comes Tech. They're on a 10-2 run. Davis, the high-flying score. 35-27. Biggest lead of the night, and Davis has got 14, and the Tech crowd will get up now. Johnson, his own, and traveling. Well, give Johnson some credit, though. He's had the big rebound games, and what was the comment he made? I'm going to get every rebound, I think is what his thinking has been.
Yes, it started at SMU when he collected, I think, 16 rebounds. We had the game, and he's got now a rebounder's mentality, which Tony Brony has to like. He's very selfish when that ball's shot. It's almost like he was absent that day in kindergarten when they had the lesson on sharing. He wasn't there because he doesn't understand. He thinks all of them belong to him, and that's how you have to rebound.
Tech up 35-27. Kessel brings it down quickly. Alley-oop to Wilbur, and out of play. Not the time for that play. Coming up at halftime tonight. Stay with us here on Prime. We'll have a chance to give you stats and highlights. We'll interview with Gerald Myers, the former coach here at Texas Tech, now Associate Athletic Director. Raiders by 8, 35-27. Got the last 6 in this one. Hughes can't get at the ball.
A&M desperately needs a basket. They've been on a little bit of a drought, and they've got to get something to drop. They've quit attacking the basket with passing and with dribbling inside.
Nice help by Hughes. Sasser gets the loose one. Davis. It's a 14-2 run. 37-27. Double-digit lead now for the Raiders.
A&M will hold and go for one.
You're looking at the game clock. Forget the shot clock. A&M really needs a bucket here. Wilbur. And the Raiders will get a half quarter. Martin, it would have counted. What a finish to a half by Texas Tech. Tony Barone and the Aggies looked like they had it at their pace. They were dictating the tempo and controlling the game even though they didn't have a big lead, and it got out of hand quickly.
Well, the game is still at their pace. Only 37 points on the board for the Red Raiders, but they've got to solve some offensive problems in the locker room at the half. And James Dickey's squad, that transition game that they are so good at, took over that last 2 or 3 minutes. Mark Davis and Sasser filling the lanes down the side. Very difficult to get back and cover, especially if you can't convert on the offensive end.
37-27, Texas Tech by 10 over the Aggies of A&M here on Prime Basketball.
Swiss Miss hot cocoa drinkers are trying hot Ovaltine.
I was surprised. You got me. It's chocolatey, it's creamy, it's not watery, it's delicious. It's a real good taste.
Hot Ovaltine is made with milk. It tastes creamy and is more nutritious than hot cocoa.
I like it because I like the chocolate flavor. I'd buy the Ovaltine now because it's good for you and it tastes good. Why not have it?
Hot Ovaltine in malt and chocolate malt. Compare it to your hot cocoa and taste the difference.
How much do you pay for a minute of long distance?
75 cents? 79 cents?
80 cents a minute. I don't really know.
Well, now Sprint introduces a whole new way to save on long distance. Every evening and all weekend long, a minute is just 10 cents. It's that simple.
For 10 cents, huh?
Piece of candy. Cheaper than sending a postcard.
10 cents a minute. I wonder why no one ever thought of that before.
Call now for 10 cents a minute and get up to 100 minutes free.
If you've ever struggled with a handheld trimmer, you'll love this revolutionary new kind of trimmer on wheels. Just look how easy it rolls on those 2 big wheels and glides in any direction on this front-mounted mobile. It's perfect for trimming around rocks, along fences, ponds and ditches, and in all those hard-to-reach corners. The new DR is also a mower. It cuts tall grass, waist-high weeds, even wet grass and rough areas with never-before ease. It even works as a brush cutter. You'll just love what the DR Trimmer Mower can do for you and your property. Call toll-free 1-800-592-1222 for your big free package all about the revolutionary DR Trimmer on wheels, plus special savings now in effect. That's 1-800-592-1222 for free DR details.
This is Prime's World. We play all day, every day. We play the zones. We play the cuts. After this message, Prime plays on.
I can't believe it! Dipsy Doo, Dunkaroo! Slam Bam Jam! Hey fans, there is nothing like the excitement of college sports. And guess what? Now you can get a hot new magazine that's nothing but college sports. Every issue brings you the inside story on football, baseball, hockey, and more. Hey, and does it cover college hoops? Are you serious? Like nobody else. But it's unbelievable, baby. You can get a whole year of college sports for just $12.95. But can you believe it? Call now, and you also get my fantastic March Madness preview free. You'll get the inside story on all the tournament teams, plus my fantastic prediction. This deal is awesome, baby. Call now.
Call 1-800-DUNK-511 for 12 great issues of College Sports Magazine, plus your free Dick Vitale's March Madness preview.
Wow. Fans are great. The enthusiasm that they generate is mind-boggling. Now, referees are a necessary evil. I'm not going to yell. I'm not getting it, T. And by the way, they're right more than they're wrong. Everything is not a bed of roses. It's all part of the game.
Action on the hard court heats up as some of the top players on the tour serve it up for the San Jose Open. The San Jose Open. Coverage begins Saturday at 3 Central, live on HSE.
Texas Tech with a 37-27 lead over Texas A&M. It's halftime here in Lubbock. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Land with you. I'm glad to have with us is our halftime guest, Gerald Myers, now Associate Athletic Director here at Texas Tech. For many years, the basketball coach prior to James Dickey. And Gerald, your thoughts on this game? A little bit different sitting in the stands. You still got that out of your system yet?
Well, as far as this game goes, yeah, I had a lot of fond memories of playing against the Aggies and Shelby Metcalf. We had some real battles over the years, and a lot of real fond memories of playing at A&M as well as out here. It seemed like every time we played A&M, it was a battle. They had some great teams.
What about tonight's ball game? What's your thinking after the first 20 minutes?
Well, I thought Tech got out of the gate pretty fast and looked like they were going to run away with it there for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then A&M really controlled the tempo. They did a great job of handling the basketball and running the shot clock down, and it was pretty tight. In the last, 3 or 4 minutes, Tech got a little momentum and got a little faster tempo. That's Tech's game, and A&M did a good job of getting the crowd out of the game. Early at one point there, the crowd was really in it. A&M held the ball, set them back down their seat, made a basket, and then pretty well controlled it. But then Tech spurted on them right before halftime.
Being out of the coaching end now for a couple of years, what's your thoughts on college basketball? You like the state of the game right now?
Well, I think college basketball is the most exciting it's ever been. The rule changes have been good. The coaches have adapted to the three-point play. The 35-second clock even speeds it up a little more. It puts a little more emphasis on talent and recruiting. You've got to have some good players because you can't shorten the game if you're a little short-handed on talent. But I think the three-point line probably change basketball more than any other thing.
The Big 12. Texas Tech is one of the four Southwest Conference schools will be going into the Big 12 96. What will it take for Tech to step into that league and compete for a title?
Well, I think James done a great job recruiting. He's got some good, talented players, and he's a good recruiter. And I think he needs to get a couple of big players to go with the players he's got. He's recruited a good young guard, and I think he'll be ready. I think we've got a very talented team now. They've been a little inconsistent, but I think they're hitting their stride here late in the year, and they can be pretty competitive right now with the talent they have. The Big 12 is going to be a great basketball conference. Some great teams traditionally in Kansas, Oklahoma State, Missouri, and our fans in the Southwest Conference are in for a real treat every night. They're going to see a great team practically every game.
Gerald, finally, your thought on the responsibilities that you've got here now as Associate Athletic Director, in charge of a lot of different things.
Well, just recently we have had some changes, and Bob Bockrath made some changes with myself and Marcia Sharp. He appointed Marcia Sharp as the Senior Women's Administrator as well as Associate Athletic Director, and appointed myself as Associate Athletic Director. We'll be doing a lot of work together. I'll be specifically responsible for football, men's basketball, baseball, volleyball, and men's and women's golf. Marcia will be responsible for all the other sports, and during her heavy season, I'll be helping her out a lot and trying to do whatever I can. Our main job will just be to try to help our coaches be more successful, do whatever we can to help every program.
Well, Gerald, it's good to see you again. Thanks for your time tonight. The best of luck down the line.
Thank you, Bill.
Gerald Myers, Associate Athletic Director here at Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are on top by 10 at the half. More coming up on Prime Basketball.
Chili Bowl Midget Nationals heat up in Tulsa as the nation's top drivers tackle the terrain in non-stop midget madness. And to the victor go the spoils. The Chili Bowl Midget Nationals, Thursday at 5 on HSE.
Hi, Kathy. Hi. Say, have you ever bought any of those TD record offers? I saw this great rock album called Rockin' USA. I know. I just got mine yesterday, and it's filled with 36 great hits by the original artists. I'm once big, twice shy, babe. I don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think. I've been thinking about you. Here I go again on my own. Do you still have that 800 number? Sure do. The 2 cassettes are only $19.95, and the 2 CDs are just $26.95. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-423-2121 or send $19.95 for tapes or $26.95 for compact discs plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Schools in session. The nation's top young athletes compete right here. Find out who's making the grades and who's making the big shots on Alamo High School Extra. Sunday mornings at 9 on HSE.
37-27, the halftime count. Texas Tech leading visiting Texas A&M after a halftime run there of 14-2 in the final minutes by the Red Raiders. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. Bill Land and Jimmy Dykes with you as we go to the A&M end first.
Going to be involved. No weak side rotation defensively for Texas Tech results in 2 easy points for Joe Wilbert. Caught it on the block and scored. He's one of the best in the conference. Mark Davis, the 3 from the corner, and again, that's a guy that came in shooting 16%, but he's a big-time player, and he made some big-time shots for the Red Raiders. Kyle Kessel with a spark right now offensively for Tony Baroni. His ability to penetrate with a basketball. Got a little contact and got the thing to drop for him, and Kyle Kessel playing maybe one of his better games in an Aggie uniform. The penetration right now has caused A&M difficulties in both man and the zone defense. They've got to stop that dribble penetration to the lane much better this second 20-minute period. What's the indecision here on Lance Hughes? You got him, no, you got him. Well, boom, there's the end result. Somebody's got to take it. You cannot hesitate against Lance Hughes on the perimeter.
Take a look at the Gatorade first half stats. You'll notice the shooting about even. The difference is Tech has hit 5 of 8 from three-point range. And look at the turnovers. A&M, 13 turnovers in the first half to just 5 for Tech.
and the points off, of course, the important item.
Yeah, Tech has converted those turnovers, and several of those Aggie turnovers came in their own transition game trying to force it. They've got to run under control the second 20-minute period.
We'll have our leading scorers in just a moment. Stay with us. Second half action coming up on Prime Basketball from the Southwest Conference. Tech leads it by 10.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Nutrageous from Reese's. Peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. Nutrageous. Give your mouth a party.
When we're not looking, governments deny people their basic human rights.
When we're not listening, people are tortured, imprisoned, and killed for their beliefs or simply their identity.
We at Amnesty believe each of us has a moral obligation to see, to hear, and to speak out. Call 1-800-AMNESTY. It's your human right.
You're hard yearning for sports this February? Well, let HSE be your Valentine with a lot of sports to share. First, the Mavs, Spurs, and Rockets have a special gift for the NBA that they plan to hand deliver. Then the college kids take the hardwood with more than Cupid on their mind and love in the air. Finally, the IHL takes the ice with the Arrows. They know a few things about crushes and will be handing out some sweets. Satisfy your heart by embracing sports this February on HSE.
The name of the game is speed. Flying on steel blades across an arena of ice, stopping on a dime. Houston has a new way of flying. They're called the Arrows, and they're Houston's newest pro team. They'll be earning their wings every day. Bringing you thrills and chills will be their goal. The Houston Arrows. Join the force all season on HSE.
Second half ready to start. Texas Tech 37-27 over A&M. Bill and Jimmy Dykes with you at Municipal Coliseum here in Lubbock. Leading scorers, Wilbert 13 for A&M, Kessel with 8, Johnson with 6. On the other side for Texas Tech, those are the only 3 scorers. Davis with 16, including 2 threes. Hughes has been hot, and Sasser's got 8.
For A&M, the one name not up there, Tony McGinnis. That's a guy that can score. They've got to get some work points out of Tony in the second half.
Sasser fouled before the shot, I think. Let's see. Yeah, McGinnis been averaging 14 a ball game. They've got to get him back in action.
You see right off the bat, Texas Tech comes inside. And Johnson just does not have defensive position right off the bat and has to commit the foul. But I tell you what, Tony McGinnis, talk about an Iron Man that plays a lot of minutes, and he's always on the other team's best offensive player. I think he has tired legs defensively, and it's affecting his offensive game the last 2 or 3 times out.
Wilbert with it, 37-27. James, Kessel, boy, Martin has been pesky. Jason averaging 5 points a ball game. Wilbert with 12 in the shot clock has shown the ability to improve his distance, and there is a good point in case. Averaging 22, Wilbert's got 15.
You sense right off the bat that Joe Wilbert wants the ball in his hands in the second half. He should be their first and second option most of the time.
And he stops an 8-point run that Tech had to end the half. Hughes answers with a 3. And Lance Hughes has now hit 4 of 4 in 3-point shots, and he is 6 of 7 overall. Hughes was 16. (40-29) and the Tech lead, its largest at 11. Wilbert got the call. He goes, beg your pardon, he is called for the charge. Darvin Ham kind of laughing, saying, got you there, buddy. And that's a case where Ham, if he's smart, he doesn't show any reaction, Jimmy.
Yeah, because the call may not go his way the next time, but you watch. Ham was established, and Wilbert made an explosive move back into him. Tough call that goes against Joe Wilbert. I think the proper call.
Yeah, but Ham acted like he'd been hit by a bulldozer, too. It wasn't that bad.
Hey, Joe Wilbert is a bulldozer.
Yeah.
He wasn't acting. He was hit by one.
Raiders 40-29, and it looked good sign for Raider fans. They're 10-1 when leading in the half as they were tonight. Hughes, a nice feed. Sasser can't find the handle, finally gets the shot off. Hughes retrieves. Martin, 40-29 Raiders. Kessel, freshman out of suburban Chicago, Mundelein, Illinois. And a stand with Martin. Sasser. Not a great pass by Hughes that time. Sasser, fortunately, just maintained possession. Ham posting up the other side. Instead, they'll reset with 9 on the shot clock. And Davis, who can do it all, will try just that. Had it stripped. Got it back and in. Nice poise by Mark Davis. He has 18, and the lead grows to 13. A&M needs a bucket, and now. They zip it to McGinnis. Got it blocked, and will go to the line. They need a momentum changer, though.
Yeah, those are the work points I've talked about that you need out of Tony McGinnis, because he's not a great shooter. He's a scorer. He finds a way to light up the scoreboard here. You see him sneak in behind the defense, and now he'll have a chance to go to the charity stripe, where he really does a fine job shooting 79% from there in the leagues of Southwest Conference. But they've got to get a big basket. A three-point shot's got to drop, a transition layup, a dunk, something like that has got to get this Aggie offense going.
Well, and McGinnis, talk about that's his first free throw tonight. He had 9 of 11 against Baylor in a 13-point performance. He had 3 of 4 against SMU before that. He had 10 of 14 the game before that. That's what you're talking about. He's got to get to the line. He's got to get some folks in foul trouble, if nothing else. And he's an excellent free throw shooter, best in the league at 79.6. So twofold purpose there. 42-31. Davis. A&M with those free throws, their first points in 6 minutes plus. Went back into the first half. Steps out and shows his range. Sasser now has double figures with 10. And that's the 53rd straight game he's been in double figures. Boy, you talk about consistency.
Well, this Tech team is really hard to guard offensively because they are so versatile. Look at Lance Hughes. He can short it from the 3, where he loves to curl off the screen and get to the paint. Sasser and Davis can both post you up inside or step out and knock down that 15, 16-foot shot. And I tell you what, there are a lot of talent on this Red Raider squad, especially offensively.
Well, they're working hard defensively there to stay up with Wilbert, who's bouncing from side to side, trying to get that pass. Another one inside. Wilbert. Davis with a block. And a foul. Oh, you saw Davis' reaction. It's like he could stab with a knife when the official came in and said, "You."
Well, Wilbert has really attracted a lot of attention, as you would expect to see him catch the ball, and then the defense just really collapses around him. Looked like a lot of ball up top. Maybe got him for some body contact down low. That's ball up top. That angle right there, you can't see if there's a bump down below. Mark Davis thought he had the jump.
And Wilbert goes to the free throw line. Second in scoring, 7th in rebounding, 1st in field goal percentage, 8th in free throw percentage. Joe Wilbert. 15 points, but only 1 rebound tonight.
Well, he is really a quality young man. Not only does Tony Baroni have a guy that can get it done on the floor for him, but he sets a great example off the floor. Very active with the community there in the College Station area. He said he wanted to tell his high school coach in the 10th grade, Barry Davis, hello tonight. He said, "Jimmy, without him, I would have quit basketball as a 10th grader." Those high school coaches out there watching tonight, don't think for a minute that you can't influence someone's life.
And Wilbert struggling at the line. For a rare occasion, it stays 13. Sasser. Kessel high to get the rebound. The point guard trying to make it happen. James. The other way, Davis to Sasser. Hey, mama. And it counts. Oh, my goodness.
Well, with that transition basket there, you kind of sense the butter starting to slip off the biscuit a little bit right now for Texas A&M. Just not going exactly like they want, and Kessel tries to make the hard ball foul, but Sasser too tall and too strong, just rises up over him. You see the rise and the reach and the elevation that gets him up above Kessel and gets it to drop. Things are really starting to pile up against A&M.
Sasser with a dozen points. Tony Baroni came over just a moment ago to the scores table. That's the holdup here, and asked a question. And now they've called the officials over. I'm not sure what it concerns. Problem with the clock, I believe.
15, 57. That is running. Where's play by play? We just got it on 15, 57. Put it on 15, we got a timeout.
Tony's saying they didn't start the clock after the free throw. And they went back to look at the play-by-play sheet over there, and then they've got it adjusted now. 15:57 to go. So Sasser with a dozen. So much experience on this team, too, Jimmy. This was a different year for Tech. They're picked to win the league. Last year, they had the same 5 start every game. This year, they shuffled the lineup, but they're starting to put it together.
Well, at the right time, and I've seen Texas Tech in person once. I've seen them on film several times, especially in the last couple days. And they can hurt you in a lot of ways, and one of the reasons is they get to the free throw stripe 80 more times this year than their opponents because they attack the basket. They got 5 guys that can beat you in one-on-one situations, and that really will be a benefit to James Dickey down the stretch.
Wilbert to McGinnis, back out to Wilbert. Both clubs 4 of 7 from the line tonight. Kessel with it out front for the Aggies. 10 on the shot clock. Raider defense suffocating right now. All Hughes. And a blocking foul. Oh, a charge against Hughes. Hughes had a man there, though, Jimmy. They should have had a bucket out of that. He had Martin he could have dished to. James Dickey obviously disagrees with the call.
Great half-court defense, though, by Texas Tech. Lance Hughes comes up with a steal. Now watch. He's going to try to beat. Good position established by Henderson, I thought. Lance Hughes tried to overcreate. Could have dropped it off. Doesn't like the call, and neither does that guy right there.
Timeout call. We'll take a break. Don't go away. 46-31. Raiders by 15.
Nothing is tougher on dirt. Than a 191 horsepower Chevy S-Series extended cab 4x4. Chevy trucks like a rock.
If you need extra strength medication to treat itchy skin, you're not alone.
I get a steady itch and it's around my waist and it's very irritating.
Now you can solve your itchy skin problems with new extra strength Gold Bond medicated powder.
When I put it on, it soothes the rash and it stops the itching.
Extra strength Gold Bond has an extra strength triple action formula. We take our proven absorbing action, then add more pain reliever for medicating action, and extra zinc oxide for drying action.
The itching doesn't bother me anymore.
New extra strength Gold Bond medicated powder.
What if there were only 3 seconds left on the clock? I'd call for the ball. We all know they'd give it to me. I'd be double covered, but that wouldn't stop me. I'd jump up and snatch that rock. I'd eyeball the hoop. Guys would be clawing at me. I'd plant, turn, fire. Naturally, swish.
Hornacek has the touch, but Elliott's always clutch.
Yeah, that's what I do. Want to see it again? I still have 2 seconds left.
Jazz and Spurs, Tuesday at 7, live on HSE.
Texas Tech with a 15-point lead right now, and credit the defense. Watch the Red Raiders shutting off passing lanes. Great job of putting the pressure on the basketball and containment. But look right now, picks up the dribble. No one to pass it to. Everyone's shutting things down, and then Lance Hughes is going to run through a pass right here. That is great team man-to-man defense.
And it has created 16 turnovers by A&M. A&M's winning the rebound battle 20-15, and this is against one of the nation's best rebounding teams. Tech out rebounds opponents by 9, best in the league. And A&M +6, second in the league.
Boy, Damon Johnson really took a shot as he went down the middle of that lane trying to post up and see him on the floor. I don't know for sure where he got hit. That's a concerned look out of Tony Barone, and well should be. He took a shot.
Johnson, who's played so well the last couple of games, really kicked it in gear. Averaging 17.5 points, 17 boards, and that was after the last 2 games. The previous 7, just 6 points and 4 boards a game. Give you an idea of what a vital part he is of this team when they win. Looks like he's going to be all right. Thursday night, it's a doubleheader in the Metro and Pac-10. UNC Charlotte heats up against Southern Mississippi. Then we move to Tempe, Arizona, where Cal hopes to shake the Sun Devils out of the top 25. Check your local listing for the game times on this regional sports network, Prime Basketball. Right here, it is 46-31 Red Raiders. They led by 10.5. They jumped it to 15, and now Kessel answers.
You know what Kessel has going for him tonight? He's a couple of inches taller than Martin and just about as quick, so he can get his shot off once he gets in there. And it's a nice job by the freshman recognizing it.
Martin tried to dish and got it back. 14:34 remaining. 46-33. Texas Tech. Raiders unbeaten at home this season. And Hughes hits another jumper. Hughes makes it 48-33 with the deuce. He's got 18, 3 above his average. He had 19 in the first meeting. He had 24 in that wild one here last year that A&M won by 1 at the buzzer.
Well, the guy can flat out play the game defensively, offensively. He's the all-time career leader as far as dunks at Texas Tech. He's got explosiveness in his game. If you're going to beat Texas Tech, you've got to have 3 outstanding defenders to cover Sasser, Davis, and Hughes.
And a foul is called. You see Carr talking over with Sasser. Corey Carr, a freshman from Kingsland, Arkansas, averaging almost 4 points a game.
This is what A&M needs to get more here in the second half, is that basketball getting to the paint area, either off of Johnson or Wilbert, establishing that low post position or some dribble penetration, but they cannot afford to play catch now around that perimeter with Texas Tech turning up that defensive pressure. They've got to attack the basket. And remember the game we had earlier where you just sensed that SMU just started taking the ball to the basket, and that's what they got to do tonight.
Joe Wilbert with 15, 1 of 4 from the line, and he continues to struggle now. This is a 72% free throw shooter. Came in with 163 attempts, so he's getting to the line a bunch. Tony Barone's going to see his club come back in this building. They're going to have to hit their free throws, obviously.
Hit free throws, don't turn the basketball over, get some defensive stops, and they've got to hit shots. I mean, that you can talk about everything else in basketball on any level, but every once in a while that orange thing has to go through that other orange thing.
Well, their short lead that they had in this ball game was the biggest of 3 at 23-20, and a timeout for Texas A&M. 48-34, Raiders lead it on Southwest Conference basketball here on Prime.
Is the gray in your mustache or beard making you look too old? Now there's Just for Men brush-in color gel, specially for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. This brush-in gel stays put to penetrate hard-to-color hair. In 5 minutes, rinse. Your mustache or beard blends with your natural hair color, and it won't fade or wash out.
Now that's a lot better.
Just for Men color gel from the leader in men's hair coloring.
Tune in to something new on the air. Prime Sports Radio, the sound of sports.
I think for pure offense, this might be the greatest team in the history of college football.
They were out there because they love to compete, they love to perform, they love being on the center stage.
This turned into a game, one that you knew Marino would kind of take over because he was having so much success throwing the football.
All sports, all day, from all across the USA. PSR, Prime Sports Radio, the sound of sports.
This is Cavallini beating ahead. Darian Hatcher walks in, shoots, scores! A goal! We're all tied out.
The Dallas Stars, illuminating the NHL. Stellar performances, shooting for the cup.
Here's Modano, one last rush up. A perfect clean, a shot,
Stars take on the Maple Leafs Wednesday at 6:30 live on HSE.
48-34, Texas Tech by 14 on Prime Basketball from the Southwest Conference.
Travel range through Continental. One airline can make a difference. Business first. The comfort and service of international first class at a business class fare. That's the difference.
Tony Baroni trying to keep the tie. And Tony trying to get in a tie with Texas Tech. They're 5-2. A&M is 4-3 coming in here. Smith brings it up. Raiders by 14. This half, A&M's hit 2 of 2. You see Tech 5 of 9. That's that turnover situation. Sasser got bumped. Out of bounds it goes. No call.
James Dickey battling. He knows his team has got to win this thing. Stay in a hunt for the battle and for that championship. The bump right there by Smith. That knocks him out of bounds. That should still be injustice is served on the other end because they got it back.
Carr and Howe. And Davis. This guy really is a do-it-all type. What an assist. 17 points, 8 boards a game, 49% from the floor. He's hitting threes tonight and giving it up.
And Corey Carr converted on the other end out of Kingston, Arkansas play last year. Joe Wilbur will not miss that shot very many times. But Carr is really a great athlete at 6'4", just a true frosh out of the Razorback State.
Inside again, Carr gets another bucket. Carr averaged 23 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. MVP in the state tournament in his division in Arkansas. And a quick 4 for Carr, and it's 52-36. Biggest lead of the night for the Raiders, Wilbert. McGinnis kept it alive, and then Hughes got it, and a foul is called on A&M. And Baroni's boys are in trouble in the bubble.
Well, Texas A&M is now forced to take some very difficult shots, and they normally have great shot selection. That Red Raider half-court defense is forcing them to do some things that they're not real comfortable doing, like Joe Wilbert creating across the lane and floating 12-footer. Look at that pass right there from Davis at 6'7". He has the height to be an outstanding passer and the height to be an outstanding perimeter shooter. Get that shot off anytime he wants, inside or out.
Carr saved Hughes' wild pass, and now a foul called against Texas A&M. It's almost a fall, too. 12-17 remaining. 52-36, Texas Tech. Carr, with those 4 points, the first guy to score for Tech other than Sasser, Davis, and Hughes.
That's truly amazing this late in the ball game with 12 minutes to go.
And the other 48, making the other 50 is Davis now with that bucket. He's got 20, Hughes 18, and Sasser 12. The lead is now 18. Foul called. It stops the crowd as well as the action. They're all getting up to their feet as if somebody put a hand up and said, whoa, wait a minute. Team foul number 5 on the Raiders, 5 on the Aggies this half.
You know, Bill, we talk about the big 3 for Texas Tech doing all the scoring. That's not bad, though. I think that's other guys knowing their role and knowing we got 3 great scorers. You see the turnover by A&M, which is really plaguing him tonight. But those other guys on the floor know that their role is to get the ball into the hands of the scorers. And James Dickey is really molding this team into a championship caliber team heading down the stretch.
Well, yeah, and it's not like that Ham, Coy Smith, Batty, and some of the others aren't capable of having some big nights once in a while, but your bread and butter is that trio we've been mentioning. 54-36, they go up by, Hughes had it caught away. And wait a minute, one ref is going to call over and back, and then the other came over and said, wait a minute, he saw the A&M player punch the ball.
Good job by Wally Tanner. Listen to the other official and making the correct call. That's what you want, and that's it. He knocked it over.
And if you're an Aggie fan, you're thinking nothing's going our way tonight. Why'd that official have to be in position to see that? Carr with it out front. Little one-on-one and a blocking foul called on the Aggs. This one will be against Quentin James. Freshman from Madison, Illinois.
Well, James is putting a lot of ball pressure 30 feet away from the basket, and that's very difficult to stop a driver like Corey Carr at 6'4". He can put that thing on the hardwood and create.
Coy Smith, who's a good three-point shooter, can't get this one to fall. Smith is 41% on the year, and that's getting close to the fans, isn't it? Darvin Ham. You like this Red Raider crowd. The attendance has improved every year under James Dickey here at the bubble. 3,700 his first year, 4,100, and then 5,500 last year, and they're up over that this season. Capacity is 8,174. And this is a facility that it doesn't take but 4,000 or 5,000 to make it deafening.
Well, it looks like they'll be playing in it for some years to come. A bond issue failed to pass a couple of weeks ago. That may have given them a new facility, but there's nothing wrong with this one. When it's full, it's loud. I think they're looking at now probably doing some redecorating to it. It's a fine basketball facility. 40 minutes.
Wilbert going to the hole, and a foul is called. Cool. Here we have some players. Wilbert going to the basket and coming right after him, Janae Cooper.
Well, the explosiveness by Wilbert, he can get it done with one. You see where he caught it? He covered about 15 feet with one dribble, and that's what you must do against outstanding man-to-man defense like Texas Tech is putting on you tonight. This Red Raider squad, they come in, 11-7 overall, but they've got talent. I mean, I am really impressed with the talent level tonight.
Glad to have you with us. Lineup. Pardon me, Jimmy. Prime basketball from Lubbock tonight here at the Municipal Coliseum, known as the Bubble. A 14-2 run by Texas Tech to end the half gave the Raiders a 10-point lead after it swapped a couple of times in the first half, and the Raiders have picked up where they left off here in the second half to lead it by 18 with 11:07 to go. Wilbert at the line for A&M, and that's just the 10th point in almost 9 minutes of play for A&M in this second half.
Colder than Clint Eastwood's stare. That's what the Aggies got going right now.
Out here, they all know what that means. That's cold, man.
That's cold.
Out of bounds, it goes back to Tech. 54-37. Tony Baroni trying to get his club back in it. Turnovers have been the big bugaboo for this A&M club. Tech has made them pay dearly. Ham set up for Sasser, and he gets it. Darvin Ham averaging 6 a game. Just 4 double-figure games on the year, and the senior from Saginaw makes it 56-37.
Yeah, that's the talent I'm talking about. There's Ham that can score at 6'7". He's got 38 offensive rebounds, 34 defensive. They bring in guys like Janae Cooper and Bernard Lloyd. He's got a huge body. Coy Smith started many games at the point guard. He can stroke it. First time I've seen him penetrate and finish the play. That's good.
He averages 5 a game, and now the others that we've been talking about are in on the scoring action. Biggest lead of the night for the Raiders, and the crowd is roaring. They want some revenge here after the wild one last year that A&M came out with a 1-point win. Hughes deflected. Ali recovers for the Aggies. They got a 4-on-1. Johnson nearly traveled, got the bucket and the foul on him. That'll quiet him down for a moment.
Great penetration, made the defense commit. Johnson almost got caught for steps, but uses his strength widely and goes up, takes up a lot of space, and gets the ball to drop.
Johnson shooting 1. Johnson with 9 points. Now 1,175 in his great career at A&M. A senior out of Converse, Texas, came in with 601 rebounds in his career as well. 19-8 rebound performance against Baylor. Hughes for the basket and a foul call. Johnson said, wait a minute, can't be me. But it is, David. 58-40. Johnson picks up his third. team fouls are even at 7 each. So bonus time both ways. The remainder of the game, but we got 9:43 to go. Free throws will certainly be a factor. And Hughes with the miss. He's a 71% free throw shooter. James Dickey looking on as senior from Georgetown, Texas. Hughes got this one to go, and he's got 19 now. 59-40. McGinnis really been quiet offensively tonight.
Yeah, he has, and Texas Tech has done a very nice job of keeping Johnson and Wilbert off of the block area that we showed in the open of the game. Always a front and backside. Very difficult to get it inside tonight for the Aggies.
Johnson the miss. Hughes to Sasser. Couldn't come up with it a little bit too hard. So the Aggies a turnover. The Raiders a turnover, and that has been a rarity tonight. Stevens checks back in. Johnson gets a breather.
Had a nice visit with James Dickey this afternoon and asked him if his parents in Valley Springs, Arkansas would be watching tonight. He said they'd get the cable up there. It might be on the barbed wire network coming into the house, but he said they'll get it and they'll watch it. Great basketball family, that Dickey family. His brother is an assistant coach at Oklahoma State, and he was an excellent high school player in the state of Arkansas himself. Was James Dickey.
One of the Dickies on the VWSN. Well, a little hully-gully here, out of bounds, and with 8:51 remaining, the ball will come back to Texas Tech. Turnovers, A&M 18. They've been averaging 19. The points off, Tech with 28. Outscored them 28-9 in the points off turnover category.
Yeah, man, that's the difference in the score right now. That's the storyline of this game, like a heavyweight fight. What happened? Turnovers, and then Texas Tech's ability to convert the turnovers really hurt Tony Barone tonight.
And to the free throw line will go Darvin Ham. First meeting, Texas Tech, a loser 90-80 in College Station. A&M, kind of crazy. They survived 22 turnovers in that ball game and won. But tonight, a different story unless they do a major turnaround here as Ham puts the Raiders back up by 20.
The Texas Tech early was really trying to struggle and find themselves as a basketball team. A lot of it had to do with the fact that they faced Wisconsin, Kentucky, Temple, Arizona. They beat Penn State, but they also lost to Montana State at Montana State, which is a tough place to play. And as a result, their confidence got down. They're adjusting to a new point guard. They're just starting to come into their own.
Martin stepped out of bounds right in front of us, and the official right there to spot it. Yeah, I think James Dickey knows his club to go to the NCAAs. They're 11-7 right now. They have to win the conference tournament. Winning the league may not be enough. The conference tournament representative will go because even though they played those tough teams, Jimmy, they didn't get a W, even though they had a great shot in a couple of games.
Well, I think you're exactly right. And that Southwest Conference tournament, you talk about something that's going to be well balanced. There's 4, 5, 6 teams in their thing this year going to make a run at the championship. That will be an exciting weekend in Dallas.
McGinnis makes it 60, 61-42. Taking it to the hole, kicking inside Davis, and Sasser got it to go.
You know, if I was still coaching and they said, Jimmy, there's only one defensive drill you can use every day, I would say, well, then I'm going to play one-on-one containment defense, because every time, and there's another example, although the shot doesn't go, every time you lose containment on the perimeter, just about more times than not, something bad will happen.
Sasser from Davis, and the Raiders lead it by 24. 66-42. My goodness gracious. Wilbur. Martin picks his pocket into the hole. Foul. Good night, Irene.
Well, I don't know if there's anybody on that A&M bench named Irene or not. But they got a lot of problems right now. Things are really going Texas Tech way, and take nothing away from the Red Raiders, because They forced the action tonight. They've taken care of business on both ends. They've defended tonight probably as well as they have defended all year. I'll be anxious to see what James Dickey has to say about it afterwards, but you hold Texas A&M to 42 points with a guy like Joe Wilbert and Damon Johnson coming in on the roll they've been on. They have really done it with a big lead. I don't mean Dallas.
68-42. Raiders by 26. Yes, they have delivered a black eye of their own to Texas A&M. It's a wild one here in Lubbock. 68-42 Raiders.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 known wonders of the world. Witness
the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
when
13,
Prime
14,
spotlights the NBA All-Star Weekend. Friday night at 7 Central on HSE.
Introducing Miracle Thaw, the incredible new defrosting tray that perfectly thaws frozen food like magic in just minutes. No chemicals, no batteries, no wires. Look, this thick steak could take all day to defrost, but just place it on Miracle Thaw and in 30 minutes it's butcher block fresh. Amazing. Just watch what happens to this ice cube. The secret is in the superconductive metal. It absorbs the natural heat from the air and releases it into the frozen food. The tray is cool to the touch, but the cube melts like it was on a hot griddle. Microwaves give you dry cooked edges, causing stale flavor, but these rock-hard chicken breasts are moist and tender in just 12 minutes. Now, defrost any meat or fish in no time. Food always thaws cool and juicy for the best flavor. You'll be amazed how fast you can go from this to this with Miracle Thaw. Now only $19.95.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-592-1222. Sorry, no CODs. That's 1-800-592-1222 or send just $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping to the address shown. Miracle Thaw is not in store, so call now 1-800-592-1222.
It's the best spot to find out what's going on in the world of sports. The Press Box on top of all the action. Highlights, scores, interviews, and the inside scoop on the deals of the day. Tune into the box.
Tonight at 10:30 on HSE.
Texas Tech with its biggest lead of the game of 26, 68-42. Welcome back to Lubbock, everybody. Bill Land and Jimmy Dykes with you. And Tech's done it. The defense, 20 turnovers. They've also shot 55% from the floor, but that's been because of defense.
Yeah, well, A&M has shot the ball well enough tonight to win. They just haven't had enough looks. They've turned it over too many times. Therefore, they've run out of shots. Not enough bullets in their gun right now.
And A&M tonight shooting from the floor at 47, almost 48%. There you see the field goals this half. Tech, 68%. Jimmy Smith can't get it to go, and out of bounds it goes. Smith, a sophomore from Victoria, Texas. A lot of high school numbers that you could brag about for Smith, but has had a tough adjustment to Division I college basketball. And with Kessel's arrival, his playing time has diminished drastically. He's got some opportunity here tonight. Nice feed to Ali, and get it out of here. Oh, mama. Tony Battie just batted that one out of bounds.
A little bit of a hesitation allows the defender to come from the weak side. Battie, another one of those athletes I'm talking about, 6'9", 6'10". James Dickey can run on the floor.
Johnson. Casada. We've seen quite a bit of playing time in the ballgame for the first time tonight. Dario, freshman from Madrid, Spain. The jumper will not fall. James kept it alive, but it goes off to Sasser. Jason brings it aboard for Texas Tech. 6:22 remaining in the basketball game. Battie, Casada, really stripped it. Battie, a wild shot. But follow, Davis cannot get his own, and Smith clears for A&M. Hughes with the foul on James. Lance Hughes. He got him going early tonight.
Well, the defender right there, Battie, has frozen feet. What I mean by that is you go out and take on somebody that still has a live dribble. You've got to keep your feet alive. You can't freeze those things on the floor. Because again, that one-on-one breakdown defensively just causes everybody problems. There you see James Dickey talking about it. Say, guys, you can't give up a layup. He's talking about to you right there about the containment on the perimeter. He said, we're going to win this ball game, but somewhere down the road, I'm going to need you to go out and shut somebody down. You can't have defensive mistakes like that.
This telecast is authorized under rights granted to Prime by the Southwest Conference and Texas Tech University, and is not intended for the commercial use of our viewing audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of Prime, the Southwest Conference, Texas Tech University, and the Barbed Wire Sports Network is prohibited. 5:59 remaining here, and James is at the free throw line.
I take a lot of grief for a guy from Arkansas. I mean, won the national championship last year. The guy in the White House is from my home state. Everybody's still picking on him.
Well, you're big boys and girls, you can handle it. That's why we do it. We know you can handle it. The verbal abuse is tough on this crew, believe me. Davis comes off with a rebound, 68-43. Smith comes up with a loose one. No one stops him, and he can't hit them. Carr kept it alive, and a foul called underneath on Texas A&M. John David Crow, Wally Groff, and the Texas A&M brass here. John David, of course, the former athletic director. Wally now in charge. And their basketball coach, not a happy man. Nobody works harder than this guy.
As we say, they've got a good one, though, in Tony Barone. I mean, never will his team be out-prepared. Never will his team be out-hustled. The things you can control as a coach, Tony Barone is on top of them. The effort is always there. The work ethic is there in that program on a consistent basis. And I think he just realizes tonight that things didn't go their way. And they just got beat by a better Texas Tech ball club tonight.
Well, when the season started, if you asked Tony, would you take a split with the preseason favorite?
Certainly.
He'd probably say, sign me up.
Sure.
What they've got to do now is continue to maintain the home court advantage, if you will, and stay unbeaten at home. They're going to have to probably win the rest of their road games to have a shot at sharing or winning the title outright.
Yeah, and they're capable because of the style of basketball that the Aggies played. This is really a blowout for them at 69-43, but normally they are really in the ball game. It's tough to get a 20-point bulge on them. When you've done that, you've played an outstanding game of basketball like the Red Raiders have done tonight. And they needed more of that right there all night long. Taking the ball to the paint, creating something offensively.
Johnson with that bucket for A&M. Yeah, don't write off A&M, folks. 69-45 here. I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about the rest of the season. They finished. This is the halfway point. This is the start of the second half. They've got 4 of their last 6 at home, Jimmy. Only Houston and Baylor on the road, which I'm sure that man figures we are capable of beating and winning in Houston and in Waco. So he's got the contenders coming to his place for the last half, and certainly got an outside shot at getting right back in it. Asked James Dickey just a week and a half ago if someone had told him first place, he said, get out of my face. Well, back-to-back victories, including one over TCU here Saturday. They're tied for first, and tonight, after this one, they'll have sole possession at least for 24 hours. So it can turn around quickly in this well-balanced league.
You know, and talk about the league, there's going to be the split up here another year, but the best basketball, I think, in the last few years is just starting to come to surface right now in the Southwest Conference. There's good young players, outstanding coaches. Next year, 2, 3 years down the road was when the best basketball was going to be played. Unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of a split up.
Ali got no man's land. Martin with the steal, and the rebound comes off to Ali as he hustled back after his miscue. And of course, Baylor, along with Texas A&M, and Texas Tech headed to what will then become the Big 12. Ali can't hit. Johnson with the follow to get it, and it's 70-47. Of course, Rice, TCU, and SMU are going into the WAC with Tulsa and some others. That'll become a 16-team league, and Houston into a new setup with some of the Metro members. 13 for Johnson tonight. It's 70-47 Texas Tech. Bill Land and Jimmy Dykes with you. The Red Raiders took a 10-point lead into the locker room at the half, and they didn't come out and let it get away to start the second half. Been all Tech here in the final minutes. And a foul called on Smith. That skirmish for the basketball. Texas Tech, looking ahead, is at Baylor Saturday and then they're home to meet Houston next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. And James Dickey got to feel pretty good after a bumpy start about their situation as well. And Coy Smith will come in the ball game. Lance Hughes leaves. We'll see if he comes back. He's got 19, 13 in the first half for Hughes, averaging 15 a game.
You know, Martin has done a solid job for James Dickey in Southwest Conference play. Had a little trouble early in his career here. He kept trying to make the spectacular play, and James was getting on him in practice pretty hard one afternoon when I was here in Lubbock. Said, son, I don't need a spectacular play. I got some guys that can do that. I need somebody out there to make the simple, the smart play that will result in a spectacular play. And Jason Martin has accepted that role. 73 assists, only 11 turnovers coming in tonight in league play. That's those are solid numbers from a first-year point guard in your program.
Transfer from Washington State, but did not play there out of the JUCO ranks. And James with a bucket, and it's now 71-50.
And I thought it was interesting what Jason Martin said in the press guide. If there was one rule change he would make, it would be to lower the basket to 8 feet. There's a guy that's only 5'9", so that's the kind of game I'd like to play in.
All the little guys, when you come to the shoot-arounds, want to dunk and go inside, and all the big guys go out to that three-point arc. That's just a staple of basketball at any level. 3:23 remaining with a timeout called. 71-50. Texas Tech on cruise.
GeoPrism has a beautiful interior and comes with standard dual airbags, crush zones, reinforced door pillars, and a rugged steel safety cage, which helps explain why the interior still looks this beautiful, even when it's in this car. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know the new GeoPrism.
Alka-Seltzer or Bromo-Seltzer? They sound the same, but there are two differences. Bromo-Seltzer has 29% more acid neutralizing capacity than Alka-Seltzer. That's 29% more power to neutralize stomach acid. And Bromo-Seltzer contains the non-aspirin pain reliever used most by hospitals, while Alka-Seltzer contains aspirin. So if you want 29% more acid neutralizing capacity and the pain reliever used most by hospitals, there's only one choice: Bromo-Seltzer.
Welcome to the Sports Hotspot, the superstore for sports fans. Hey, Astro fans, Jeff Bagwell is the '94 National League MVP. Commemorate this historic event by wearing your officially licensed Jeff Bagwell MVP apparel. The starter MVP cap and tee can be yours. Have your credit cards ready and call 1-800-ASTROS-4. These commemorative pieces are great for any Astros fan or collector. Kid sizes and adult XXL are available. Call 1-800-ASTROS-4 and hit the spot.
Well, you're looking at the family, the Robinsons. Shelley, whose husband Kelly is one of the sports information directors here in charge of basketball at Texas Tech. Got along with Camden and Carson and the gang all there enjoying themselves.
And one guy's not enjoying it. He's up there crying.
He got banged in the head.
Upside the head.
Or he didn't get one of those basketballs. Hey, speaking of basketball, Friday night prime spotlights the NBA All-Star Weekend. And we'll be in Phoenix at the NBA Fan Jam to bring you a one-hour special previewing the weekend, interviewing coaches and players and highlighting the stars of the NBA. Check your local listings on this regional sports network. 71-50 here, James. And it won't go. Davis for a dunk. Oh, I thought he was going to do a little behind-the-back pass to Sasser. We'd have seen some slam if he'd have completed that play.
You know, both teams do a very good job of, and I think that's a sign of a well-coached team, is when the shot's taken, all five guys are in motion. You see Quesada taking a seat. But what I mean by that is, defensively, when the shot's taken, you're either sending 4 guys or 5 guys to the boards blocking off. But on the offensive end, you got some guys going for the offensive rebound, but the other 1 or 2 guys are getting back. You don't have guys standing and watching, and that is a sign of a well-coached basketball team. All 5 guys in motion.
2:51 remaining at 71-50. Texas Tech. Tomorrow in the Southwest Conference, Baylor's at SMU, Houston at Rice, and TCU at Texas. The 2 other teams that came in and tied with Tech at 5-2 on the top spot will hook up tomorrow night in Austin. That ought to be a damn. Ali. And the rebound off to Bernard Lloyd. All 6'9", 250 of them. Not hard to find him in the paint. He played maybe his best game of the year with 5 points and 6 rebounds against TCU and the victory over the Frogs on Saturday. Here's Sasser. Hughes. And back out to Mark. 12 in the shot clock for the Raiders. Subs coming in with the whistle.
Bernard Lloyd is a great, not a great dunker. He's a great
gotcha.
He's a great screener. That's what I was trying to say. And I thought, well, I'm going to change it right now. Change horses in the middle of the screen. I stayed on the horse I was on. He doesn't have great ups, as they say. There's a lot to get up if you're Bernard Lloyd. But great penetration. Now watch right here. Catch it, go up. Just can't quite get it over the rim.
Finish it, big fella.
But he can flat out set a screen on you. It takes a day and a half to get around him. That's what you like from screening purposes. Go ahead and chuckle about it. Everybody else is. You like big bodies, big bases.
Chad Collins checks in, and a number of others here for Texas Tech. Cooper's back in the ball game. Coy Smith as well. 1:34 to go. Quesada back out to Jones. Knocked away in there, and here comes Carr to Smith. Alley-oop to Carr, and he got the bucket and a foul. Coy Smith, an unselfish feed. Could have easily taken that himself, did not. Carr's got 7.
Great job of executing the fast break. They had a 3-on-1, but they turned it into a 2-on-1. And a lot of people understand that, but you're better off in a 2-on-1 situation and splitting that defender than keeping the ball in the middle and have 2 guys running the wing. Much easier for that defensive player to cover 3 than it is 2. Maybe some people don't agree with me on that, but you watch time and time again, you can turn a 3-on-1 into a 2-on-1, much more difficult to stop.
It's a new match. Inside, the shot won't go. By Stevens. Carr, double team, brings it back out with 1 minute remaining in the basketball game. 74-50, Texas Tech. And a timeout called, but simply so James Dickey can sub. Barnes checks in for Texas Tech.
Well, a nice reward for those guys that practice hard every afternoon, and Tony Brony's just hoping this thing can get over with so they can head back home and break down this game film, try to learn from it. Don Rutledge's still right involved in this deal, isn't he?
Hey, he's still writing tickets. It's like the cop that won't go away.
Hadn't been his quota yet.
Both sides are ready to say that's enough. 57 seconds remaining. And Batty called for the foul. He was first, and he'll get a seat next to the coach. Bonus situation, in Quesada will go to the free throw line. Out of Madrid, Spain, averaging 4 points a game. His high 15 against Texas this year, and he makes it 74-51.
You know, you can't say enough good things about Texas Tech tonight because A&M really came in playing well. Probably their best basketball of the year has been the last 10 days. And Tech really took them out of their game plan on the offensive end. Defensively, they did a great job, and it's A&M doesn't have too much to hang their head about because they just got beat by a better ball club tonight.
.6 seconds to go, and at the line, the big fella, Bernard Lloyd, 54% free throw shooter. That one doubles off. Aggie bench. Yeah. Joe Wilbert. Crew, Tony Maroney looking on down the road. Saturday, they meet Texas. They got some making up to do against the Longhorns after they were splattered by Texas in Austin. So he'll have no trouble getting them ready to bounce back. 75-51 as Lloyd comes out of the ball game into the scoring column. Stevens. Smith to Casada.
Well, I tell you what I think gives Texas Tech the advantage to win this Southwest Conference Championship is depth. They run numbers in at you. They're solid defensively. Offensively, they can hurt you in a lot of ways. The big three can really hurt you. You got to have three outstanding defenders to play them man-to-man. When you go a zone, and Lance Hughes can really burn you from the perimeter.
Yeah, depth and experience, too.
Yeah, exactly.
TCU's got the great player in
Kurt Thomas.
But they haven't been there before either. They've had so much trouble the last couple of years, and they've got a mix of young with a veteran like Thomas, who's always a volatile one anyway.
Yep.
You look at Texas, their inside game has not been what it's needed to be.
No, great guards, though. They have great guards, but they don't have the overall balance in their squad like Texas Tech.
77-51. Final seconds of the ball game as Texas Tech ramping up victory number 6 in the league, and Stevens with the bucket for the Aggies. Collins, and the senior Chad Collins gets a bucket.
I'm glad he scored because he was very helpful this afternoon, helping me find a telephone here.
Well,
nice young man.
You blessed it. Well done, Chad. 79-53. The final, Texas Tech wins it by 26 over Texas A&M. It was never a ball game in the second half as James Dickey's club answered the charge. They did it with a spurt at the end of the first half, and they win it 79-53 over Texas A&M. We'll be back to talk about it in a moment.
Nutrageous from Reese's. Peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. Nutrageous. Give your mouth